Hello, can you hear me
I
now?
think Geechi here, right?
What up with my good folks? Yeah, I'm just tuned in.
We can get straight to
Y'all,
Geechi.
man.
We can get straight to Geechi. My
What
AirPods
it
just
do? What
died. I
it
had to put
do? What
another
it
one
do?
in. But Geechi Gotti is here. We brought you up on EFB Court real fast. Because yeah. This is
Oh
good though. It's
shit.
good though because there's been a very healthy debate on whether you should be on a panel or not. There's actually a lot of people fighting for you to be
Okay.
on. We ran the surveys and I've seen a lot of yeses. I've seen a lot of no's. But can you tell us why it makes sense? 100%.
All right. All right. That's good. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Nah, I like it. Now, if I'm speaking, on some battles and champion of the year, I feel like not only have I won them, you know what I'm saying, but even if you pay attention, man, every year I'm one of the few battlers who continue to when you drop a champion of the year survey, when you drop the GoFundMe, I done donated every year damn near, even if it's $50, $100, they don't know. You know what I'm saying? I put in that shit my damn self just to get a survey, just to, you know what I mean, be a part of the shit, just to share it. I make sure I share it and let other people know because I like what it is for the culture first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? I really think it's dope. But as far as like being on the panel, man, sometimes when I'm watching it, I just look at it like, okay, man, if you can get just a battler perspective on certain shit, it's not saying it's gonna sway other people judges, but I know the people that's watching it, sometimes they just want to hear a perspective from people that been in the ring. So I know I can take my biases out of it. Of course, I'm a Rum Nitty fan. I'm a Swamp fan. I'm a Shook, but realistically, I all these dudes. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way I'm just gonna get up there and blatantly be able to just fight for my guy without having like good points. And all of them, like me, would be my guys, depending on who you like. I brung up Marv One on my shit. You know what I'm saying, on Twitter recently. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that people wouldn't even think of probably without somebody saying it. And that's why I'm saying as a battler perspective, because I would look at it probably different than certain people who could be, you know what I mean? Like those dudes might be looked at maybe like, okay, he might be number 20. And then in my eyes, I'm like, damn, but did you see that he did this, and I know how tough it is, and just to have an argument sake, even if it don't change their position. Sometimes I think the battlers just like to hear somebody arguing for them. You know what I'm saying? Because some dudes just get left off because of recency and shit like that too as well. You know what I mean? And then what leagues we battle on, we know how that go. It is I done won years and years where sometimes my battles were just bigger battles because of the league that it was on. Didn't mean that some dudes didn't have great battles or great years either. But it's like, if it probably had somebody up there that could argue they point for them, it would have got them a little closer. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I look at it as like, man, I just want to be able to get that battler perspective on it, and then a experience perspective on winning it, because by me winning it, I done sat back and seen the arguments of why when I did win, from the strength of schedules to the impacts to the way I look at it, you know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I know I could give a good insight on some, just being somebody up there that's just an analyst, man, not looking at it from going up there to be biased. So even if I didn't get a chance to get up there, I wouldn't even look at it that way, because I know as a fan, I can understand why they would be like, oh, he probably a pick Swamp, they triple C's, oh, he probably a pick Nitty, they EFB, he probably a pick Suge, they Crips, he probably a pick, you know what I mean? Whoever niggas say, they gonna have a reason why.
We would face the backlash of perception. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Such and such did.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
oh man, Geechi said it, so they went with it or whatever type bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Thinking about
another thing where I'm like, I don't even see that happening though, because I mean that's the thing about the internet. That's why I always say, man, like a lot of these people, they live off of this internet, like and and things of that nature, how they perceive motherfuckers instead of really living in like reality. You know what I'm saying? In reality, not only is we all grown, but we all got good rapport with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a motherfucker think I'm showing up to a champion of the year debate with a gun on me trying to force niggas to pick somebody else to win $10,000, what the fuck would I, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, make sure this nigga get his money. Like, man, nigga, to be honest, I really don't care who win, because all 20 people that's gonna be on that who get chose all gonna have a good argument on why they could win. You know what I'm saying? They like, nigga, anybody could win. I'm actually excited to see who win it this year, because it's been one of the more competitive years to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody done got different reasons for why they got their chance to win. So, like, for the fans or the people who think that I would literally sit up in there and go in that motherfucker with intention, like I'm holding niggas up in the back, like, man, these dudes know me. Nigga, I'm not on that for one. You dig what I'm saying? Like, and these dudes ain't. I don't know if y'all think they think Jayblac. They think you pussy yourself or something black. Like, what's that nigga Jayblac fuck around, put me in the headlock or something? What's wrong with
That's
y'all,
funny.
man?
Jayblac,
You know
take
what
my
I'm saying?
hand.
What's wrong with
Man.
these people? Like, nigga, like, man, come on now. Like, motherfucker gonna be in there. They gonna. I think it's just gonna be. It's all an argument. It's all opinionated. People gonna argue their points, talk their shit, and go with what they go with. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah.
I think that's the fun part. I really just want to be a part of that experience. I always liked watching it when I see motherfuckers up there getting their points across and going back and forth. Like, to me, that shit been dope
No,
too.
yeah,
Moderator.
it's crazy. He's saying all this with his profile picture. He got a
Yeah.
gun pointed at you, like.
That's my boy Michael. That's my boy Michael Shakur, man.
No. Evelyn got a question, but I forgot my question. Evelyn, go ahead, man. I forgot my question.
No, I was just gonna say, man, shout out to Gotti because I ain't gonna front. I was against it at first, but after us talking about it, understanding like the circumstance, and really comparing this as a sport, right? Because I pretty much compared you to like Daniel Cormier, who pretty much does like the commentary for UFC. That battler experience and that battler insight is very, very important, and it holds a lot of weight, 100% or whatever. One thing that we were suggesting though. We were just talking about you being like the moderator to where like you pretty much keep the order of the panel or whatever. So like anytime like a debate goes too far left or anytime like we like hone in on a topic for too long, you kind of draw back the conversation and bring it back to like a certain.
Down, get back to the point.
Yeah, right. Like something like that, or like be like, hey, you saying all this and this, but let's get to the criteria. Let's really break this down. Who do you guys have for this? Who you guys have for that, or whatever? Which I think does play a huge role. And back to like the whole battler experience. Like if you look at other sports, right? Like NFL has their top 100, and that's primarily voted upon with. You know what I'm saying, the players and partially media influence, but it's partially the players. So I think that you would be a good moderator. The only thing I'm gonna say though is like you're still a battler at the end of the day, and I'm not gonna hold you. I feel like if someone puts you at a certain spot, I'm not gonna say you're gonna jump out the window, but I feel like you're so passionate about your work that you may have a couple of sides. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that like I'm kind of like.
But like, nah, I hear you. Like, so what side would you think though that I would have?
No, because like I would say like let's say someone mentions a point that you don't really agree with, like in terms of let's say they don't feel like you know what I'm saying, you were consistent enough throughout the year, or let's say they didn't feel like you had enough moments in comparison to somebody else, and in your heart of hearts as a battler, you genuinely feel like you did. I'm not saying that you would most like be biased. Like I wouldn't say like you would put your insight onto that, but I do feel like there'll be a part of you that will want to like say something, or you may say something like, you know what I'm saying, unconsciously, and it may like, you know what I'm saying, cause something. But I don't, outside of that, I don't.
Nah. Me personally, man, I take all this shit with a grain of salt, man. If a motherfucker know me, I'm not to say it's about like it's definitely about the craft. A nigga know me, I take this craft super serious when I'm on that stage. I give it 100%. But once the battle over and I don't really got the check, 9 times out of 10, I'm just talking shit. I just put a list on my tweet the other day and said I won all my battles. Only one I lost to was Frack, and Frack was a compliment battle. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just I think the fans and things of that nature, you know, they don't understand that, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, a nigga could joke and be funny and talk shit and feel how he feel about their own. Me personally, I wouldn't even want to be eligible. If I'm on the panel, I wouldn't even want my name to be a part of it. Like, give me an honorable mention.
See, that's
like
that's all they want to hear.
Yeah,
like if I'm on the panel, like, yeah, because I don't want to be able to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if I was on the panel, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want my name in the hat. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't never thinking about like voting. If that was the case, I was gonna vote for myself. Then you see what I did this year?
That makes the case a lot easier. Then
the stipulation was that you'd be removed from all accolades for the year.
Yeah. Take me all the way out. Yeah, take me all the way out, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. I like that.
Yeah, man.
Kind of bad you ain't gonna get body of the year though.
Yeah, I can't get that, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm saying. And we say he went through enough, man. He all right, man.
I forgot about that.
If he done enough, man. Give it to my boy Suge or one of them other niggas, man. Yeah,
but Geechi, real quick, if you're gonna be on the panel, you gonna have your top 20 ready?
Yeah, I'll have it ready by then for sure.
You gotta have your top 20 Geech and your 3 honorable mentions.
Yeah, I'll have that for sure, man. Y'all just give me the date that I have to have it by. If I'm selected to be on there, make sure I you know what I'm saying. I'm locked in, man. Put me in the group chat. You know what I'm saying. Whatever I gotta do. You know what I'm saying. I'm showing up with the suit. You hear me?
Email chain.
You know what I'm saying. Put my show up with the
gonna
suit,
have an
man.
all blue suit.
Come
You
on.
heard me?
With the glasses on. You hear me? I'm coming correct, man. You know what I'm saying. Might press the hair out. You never know how I'm coming, you know?
Get you about to pull up with the handkerchief and an ascot. That shit
I
crazy.
vote on both, Black, whether you want to put him on the panel or the moderator. I feel like Geek's solid enough to where he not going to be. I mean, everybody got connections or got people that
That's what I'm saying.
Whatever. Like,
that is true. That is true.
Got enough for him.
But everybody got an argument too. That's really what you got to understand, man, with this shit, man. Like, everybody got a dope argument to win that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, so even me, like I got different views and perspectives on how that shit, you know what I mean, could be. Even without being on it, I'm still, you know, I'm always gonna have my opinions on the shit because I'm a battler, so I'm looking at it. But everybody got their own arguments for it, man. Like, so I don't really feel like it's a biased way that you can really push for nobody all the way over nobody, because at the end of the day, like, you would have to literally get up there and just be like against everything. Like, there's no way I could say Swamp didn't have a good year. I would be lying. No way I could say Suge didn't have a good year. I'd be lying. K-Rock didn't. Nady didn't. Danny Bill. Like, they all had good years. So I would have whatever argument who I would be arguing with before, I would have to be able to break that down enough to why I did that. But my one vote don't outcast the other people on the panel or the fans. The fans is
Wait a minute. So is he on the panel or is he moderating?
I think he should be on the panel.
I've been saying.
I want him on a panel.
But if they have an issue with the panel thing, at least make him a part of the whole process.
Hey, Geechi, ask Jayblac. They're going to start the
still...
Blame Geechi Gotti movement, yo. You know how they got the blame.
I'm the villain, man. That's why I need to be up there, man. Anyway, so I can take the blame, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got the armor.
Stop blaming me for once, god damn.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we put it all on me this year, man. I got y'all, man. I ain't gonna lie. You feel me? I'm ready for the beef, man.
Niggas be ready to slapbox me for no reason. Like, what I do?
Yo, man, them niggas, man, they gave it to that nigga, man. What his year, man? You know what I'm saying? No matter who win, they never satisfied, man. I think the year Chilla won, they was upset. You know what I'm saying? The year Red
every
won,
year.
This
is the crazy part, yo. Like, I remember before we said you was champion, and I told you this was part of the interview for us on the channel and everything.
Yeah.
But Geechi Gotti retweeted or somebody, and he like 5 outlets had him win it. 5 different outlets before we crowned him champion of the year. And then we say he's champion year, they giving us backlash. Y'all just say he was battler year. We just said the same.
But the thing is though,
why are you mad at us?
The thing is though, it's like the crown holds a lot of weight, and on top of that, it's like the champion of the year debate is 6 hours, 7 hours long. It's an arduous process, and on top of that, like. If we keep it honest, when we get to the nitty gritty, when you're critiquing someone's work super duper heavy, like as an artist, it's gonna come off as slander to a degree, even if it's not. It's like we've tried our hardest as analysts, as whomever media members, to really, really do our due diligence and critique people's work, and whether it's like not considered slandered or not, it's gonna come off that way if someone's really, really like. Feeling like really, really like connected to the work. We just gotta be honest though, like in any sport, anything with competition, when you see the same person win, even if they deserved it, certain people just don't like to see that. They don't like, and it just is what it is. They even like Tom Brady fair and square winning Super Bowls, people be upset at the end of the game. Oh man, it's red. It's always Tom Brady. Like he earned it. He won. Kobe when they won, Michael Jordan back to back, motherfuckers was people watch Floyd Mayweather fight hoping he lose. That's why he get to pay the big bucks. That's why it's millions of people viewing. There's more people watching to see if he finally gonna take a loss. You know what I'm saying? Even exhibition matches, these matches don't even count. People like, man,
nigga fighting influencers and niggas just watching just to see him lose.
That's how it be, you know. So a lot of the backlash come from stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? They won't even have a lot of times arguments. It's even the years I won. You dig what I'm saying? It never was really too many stronger arguments for other people. You got to talk about the years like it's people that had argued to Sean. Shout out my nigga Sean. He had 4 battles in a year when I had like 10 or 12. So in the 4 battles that he had. So say if you thought he had 4 good battles, I probably had 8 good battles that year. On top of an extra 4 that I just did. And we talking content,
But you guys have battled that year too, didn't you? You guys battled that year.
And we battled, but even take away that battle, it's like I'm saying, even if just take away our battle, and just use the other battles as the criteria. We talking about like body, like that's one thing why I think a battler perspective go in just a little bit, because sometimes as a fan or as somebody that just watching it, you don't know how tough it is. Like me personally, like I'm not holding. I don't hold, like when people talk about Suge, let's say people say, oh man, yeah, you only beat Stumbles, Miami, and Drugs in 25 days, and they take away as if that didn't matter or whatnot. To me, I'm looking at it like, man, for a battler to be prepared for 9 rounds in 25 days is not easy, no matter who the opponents is. You could have took on 3 dudes out the chat. It's still on. It's dudes who we see who battle once every couple of months and get up there and choke. You dig what I'm saying? So for you to go 9 rounds and that still holds weight to me, no matter who the opponent is. It's people who will say Swamp had debatables, but then I look at it like, yo, you going against top competition. You going against Rum Nitties. You going against Tay Rocks. You going against. It's not too many people who clearly finna beat these dudes. You gonna have debatables. When people who will say stuff like, oh man, Nitty, you know what I'm saying? He only battled a few times, but it's like when you get out there and every time you battle and you giving top performances to where people debating is they battle of the years, things like that, nigga, that gonna hold weight to me. Rock, somebody who been in this game this long to still this year be able to be at the top of his game and still give dudes shots and still be working all the way to the end. Like it's like the last days of the month, you still battling. That's gonna hold weight. Like, man, you really trying to be a champ. Danny Myers, no matter if you feel like he won or lost those battles, he fighting all through the year to keep on working tirelessly. Like, so I just look at shit different than somebody who probably just look at it like, oh man, this dude battled on Known, Summer Madness, and Volume. He's the champ. It's other shit that I look at it like, nigga, it's niggas who doing small league battles that's putting their name on the line. A lot of dudes ain't even gonna go do that. They're not even going to take their time to go get somebody a shot where they could lose in the trenches against somebody that's still hungry. You know what I'm saying? Then still get on the big stage 2 weeks later. You know what I mean? Like, and that shit dangerous in this sport, you know? So I think sometimes that's why I look at it like where a battler's perspective come in, because you can get that insight. Not saying that shit's the end all be all, but at least you can throw that insight. That can make somebody see it like, okay, nah, that's not as easy as somebody who don't do it think it is. Because I've seen people discredit all those dudes in different ways. Like, oh man, Swamp can't be the champ. He had debatables. How you think it's easy to clearly beat a Tay Rock? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many niggas up there clearly beating? Oh man, he 30 drugs, stumbles in Miami. You think it's easy to have 9 rounds, nigga, in 25 days? That shit not too many battlers up in this sport gonna do that. No matter who they battle.
I said if the Swamp and Rum battle wasn't judged, it'd be a debatable call too. I swear.
Yeah, a lot of those battles definitely, you know what I'm saying, could be debated in the tournament, you know what I'm saying? But as a judge win is a judge win, you know what I'm saying? But a judge win like count as a win, like we got to take it, like, you know what I'm saying? No matter how much we like shit, it go on the record books as a loss, you know what I'm saying? You know how that go.
Yeah.
This man Geechi definitely deserves to be on the panel. That whole soliloquy right there deserves to be on the panel. I don't hear no more discussion about it.
That's all I want
One thing I was gonna ask.
Oh my god.
Hey Black, real quick, can you let up Francis? Not letting me let him up real quick, so let him up really quick.
Sure.
Geechi, I had one question though. How do you feel about like? So here's the thing about the criteria, because you studied criteria. I mean, you won the shit 3 times, so you obviously are well versed with how the criteria runs. What is your like insight on like how like certain parts of the criteria is kind of, I'm not gonna say fixed, but it's kind of aligned to certain battlers. You know what I'm saying? So like, for instance, we talked about Surf last year, right?
Are you implying that I aligned that I created the criteria?
No. I'm not. No. I'm not saying. No. I'm not saying you. Oh my god. I'm not saying you. But listen to what I'm saying though, right? Like, if we're just looking at it from an objective standpoint, right? Impact, moments, and somewhat strength of schedule, right? Strength of schedule is primarily predicated on, okay, what are the names that you're facing and what they bring to the table. Half of the battle is the names that they're facing, right? Sometimes you have to be at a certain status to get those names, right? So that's one thing. Strength of schedule is like a weird dynamic to where like a person in the year could just have a barrage of good battles against mid tiers, top tiers, whatever. So that can go either way. But specifically like impacts and moments and even performance to a degree, I feel like if you are a solidified superstar within the culture, it's very rare for like an up and comer to steal something like impact or steal something like moments or whatever, because you're kind of going to inherently have those with the stature that you have in the culture. So I wanted to ask Geechi, do you feel like there should be like?
I'm gonna answer that question too, but I'll let Geechi go first.
I want to ask Geechi, do you feel like there should be a way that we can kind of like? I don't want to say not wait as much, but do you think there's a kind of way that we can like put it into perspective when it comes to like those type of things? Because it's like Sue Surf, Tay Rock, those guys are automatically going to win impact just because of who they are, or moments because of just who they are. Anything that they do is a moment to a degree. Or anything.
Wait, do you mean they win these? They win these stuff going against somebody else?
I'm saying like in general, like,
artists, like if it say Sue Surf versus artist B, you said he'll win automatically. That's what you're saying.
In some instances,
I'm about to say,
because like sometimes
there's instances where other battlers have won tournaments or dropped a haymaker that had something to do with it, and now they got a bigger moment than them. So I disagree with names holding weight over moments.
No, that's not the point I was making. I'm saying like there's people that are in the top 20 that automatically going to have like 2 or 3 of the criteria locked just because of who they are. Like 9 times out of 10, Geechi is going to have a crazy strength of schedule because the killers want to battle him. And he's also going to have impact because he's Geechi. So I was saying, like, is there a way that, like, you feel like there should be, like, a way that we could, like, kind of hone it and put it in perspective, like, some of these things when we're talking about it? Because it's like, there are going to be certain battlers that are going to automatically have, like, 2 or 3 parts of the criteria on lock.
Okay, so for me, I would say this, man, like, that would be, like, faulting the battlers. You know what I'm saying? Like for you know for their schedule, you know, you can, it's like in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Everybody can win the MVP. Is definitely everybody got the option to win it. But if you having a great year on a team that's not winning, and a dude who having the same type of year on a winning team, he getting more airtime. We seeing him more, is more visible. So you can't fault them if I have a great performance on a smaller league or a great performance on a smaller card, and then somebody had that same great performance on Summer Madness, it's gonna be magnified. It's a bigger stage, it's a bigger moment, it's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't. It's no way around that, and it's also as like it goes back to the battler. We also understand that these stages are like whether people want to say it or not, it's still a difference in those stages, in those moments, in them times. Battlers is preparing a little harder for some of these moments. They preparing a little harder for some of these certain battlers. That's why it is a such thing as a strength of schedule. You know what I'm saying? Like if I got not just name 2 battles. If I got Stumbles and then I got Tay Rock, and I got Stumbles on Born Legacy, but then I got Tay Rock on Summer Madness. The tougher battle is gonna be Rock, who done been on millions of Summer Madnesses, who got the experience, who done did this. No matter how good Stumbles might be coming up this year, he still don't got. It's still other intangibles that he don't got. He don't got the experience that Rock done got in these situations. He ain't as battle tested as Rock in these situations. He haven't been in front of these big enough crowds to know how to come back after a crazy round, hit them, and then be able to, you know what I mean? So that would make that battle a strength of schedule no matter how you look at it. It's not saying that it's made up. That's really what it is.
No, I wasn't saying that it was made up. I was just saying there are like certain segments where like a battler is going to come in with high impact just because of who they are. And then in terms of moments, it's like that
give an example for this year.
For this year?
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna okay, for you, example. I'm gonna use you as an example. Okay. I'm maybe not impact in moments, but I feel like strength of schedule, right? Yeah. You had Diz, Hollow, and Mook in the same year. Like that's very hard. I mean, granted, I'm not gonna fault you, but there is a circumstance like shit. I mean, who else can and could do that? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just out of people's hands. You feel me? So it's like
no cap. It sounds like you're faulting him for that. Like that's what it sounds.
I'm not faulting him for that. I think that's incredible. I'm just saying that like sometimes like it's certain things that like it's like certain battlers are not put in position to kind of get that over like other battlers. You know what I'm saying? Which is not their fault, but at the same time,
it is the responsibility of the artist.
It kind of is their fault though, because they have to get themselves to that level.
Right.
But even with that said, you know, let's use here at Geechi Gotti, him as an example, right? Would you put Suge over Geechi? Would you put Swamp, Nitty, and people that name in the top 5 of Geechi? So in a sense, wouldn't you say this balance it out? Overall, yeah. even with his strong strength of schedule, Mook, Diz, and all them, how to nine, would you still put those names over him, right?
Yes, for the year, yeah.
So that's what he say. It balance out because they might have more impact on the year. You know what I'm saying? Swamp and Suge might have had a more impactful year. I probably had a more strength of schedule than, and then you could say Rock or somebody had more moments than the next person. You feel me? So everybody gonna have something that they can kind of lead in. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
And that I would say too. You said the Killers won the battle. That's the benefits of winning the champion, being a champion. You know what I'm saying? Of being the best for the, not even say champion, being the best for the prior years. So it comes down to like, oh, to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. So they go after the champ. Mm-hmm. And this is why I feel like sometimes in a person that wins, they have an advantage. I think it's top of the year. What you supposed to battle Arsenal? You want they had you battling this person. Surf was aiming at you, so it's like okay, that's really you get an advantage in a sense, which it sounds bad and it kind of is bad, but that's life in a sense. They want to beat the champ.
That's true. And one thing I was gonna say is like him winning Cody for 2018 actually helped him in 2019 because if he doesn't win Champion of the Year in 2018, I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, but he literally faced killers because he won. Like, he faced Ars, then faced Chess, then faced Tay-Rock, then faced Surf. Like, and that's because he won the previous year. So I see the point in terms of, like, it balancing out 100%.
On top of that, too, on top of it balancing out, what you do with those opportunities, because the pressure was on Chilla Jones as well after he won. He battled K-Shine, and I guess we didn't decide by that time, so let's put K-Shine battle to the side. He immediately called out Tay-Rock, got Tay-Rock. Yeah. So now it's up to him to continuously do this and be the champ and be the best. And if he loses to Tay-Rock in dramatic fashion, he don't get the next opportunities. They're not checking for him like that. So it's on you to capitalize on that position.
Yeah, because he's right. Then that next year, usually the person that done won it, most of the battlers is already like feeling like, okay, let me beat this person because that's who everybody's saying the champ. We know it's a new year and it's technically the champ of last year. The battlers are still looking at it like, because they gonna say that in the interview. Shoot, I got to win over who y'all champion was. I got it. And that they trying to be able to use that as a selling point or a bargaining tool. You know what I'm saying? Like I beat the #1 battler last year. You know what I mean? And the battler can use that as well. Like I'm the champ from last year. I should be able to get a shot at who, like these dudes that you just named. But say it's somebody who haven't battled Tay-Rock yet would win the champion this year. You think they ain't gonna get like Rock ain't gonna want to take his head off? You know what I'm saying? Like, so you get that. You feel me? Like, so I think you definitely, man. That's the goal for going hard. Like,
one last question I got. I just have one last question. So obviously the first time around when you won Champion of the Year, you know what I'm saying, you were just like performing at a really good rate, being consistent, doing everything needed to do to be in that conversation. But obviously you had a reference point going into 2019 and 2020. Without necessarily giving your game plan, was there certain things that you focused on in terms of like putting yourself in position? Because you pretty much put yourself in position to be in conversation or at least in the top 20 each year. What were like some of the things that you were kind of focused on going into the year? Like, okay, last year I did this. This year maybe I'm going to do this for my schedule. Okay, I'm going to make sure to do this for this particular battle, and this is going to put me in a position to rank high amongst these people.
Yeah, like, like kind of just looking at what's some of the criteria, consistency. So, all right, let me make sure every battle I'm giving that same level as much as I can. I'm going to go out there, you know what I mean, be consistent. You know what I'm saying? Material. Let me make sure every battle I'm out there putting my best foot forward to where when I got some bars, I got stuff like that people gonna remember, that people gonna talk about, people gonna retweet. You know what I mean? All of that, like you said, the strength of schedule, making sure I got some names on that schedule of that year that holds some weight, or somebody that's doing their thing that year. Because sometimes strength of schedule can change. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who might have been more of a on a higher level last year might not be as tough than the next year. Somebody look at, you know what I mean? Somebody done came up this year, and that's who making noise. You know what I'm saying? Like I think, let's say somebody, for example, going into this year, not to knock him, but like let's say going into this year, people looked at like Luke Castro would have been more on strength of schedule than they probably would put him in going into the next year. You know what I'm saying? Some of the battles this year probably knocked him down as tough as that you would look at him. You know what I'm saying? But the year before, prior, the DNA battles and the nitty battles and the battles like that put him to the point when he came in this year, beat Big T for the Midnight Madness shit. He started off early like, oh damn man, you feel me? This is a tough opponent. Took some losses. Next year, he might not be looked at the same until he get back on track. You know, so all that changes too. So you look at like, okay, let me make sure I'm taking somebody who name is hot or somebody that the culture looks at as tough. You know, that's kind of my thing every year is to make sure I stick to at least, man, being consistent. Make sure I stick to at least getting some battles that mean something. You know what I mean? Now I'd probably done ran through all the legendary names. So like if I was to get back into like a champion bag, it would be trying to battle the dudes who the killers now, the dudes who making noise now. You know what I'm saying? Whoever people looking at is tough now instead of looking at, you know, like the older battlers, because I already probably battled them all, you know? So I think if somebody looking to specifically like aim next year, say next year they looking to aim for it, look at what the criteria is, and then, you know, and stick with it. Like, all right, man, you can't, like you say, some people can't help who their schedule is, right, as far as getting those big names, you know what I'm saying? But if you take on some of these killers, it's still some killers out there that you can take that once it's time for them debates, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers can still hold you down. Like, man, I see people battling all the time that still is considered killers that motherfuckers just don't battle. You can still get in there with A. Ward, still get in there with the Mac Myrons. You know what I'm saying? These dudes, that's strength of schedule. You get both of them on your shit. You still can get in that motherfucker with Marv 1. You feel what I'm saying? It's dudes out there that still putting on high quality performances, doing their thing. I don't think it necessarily got to be Goods, Clips, Calico, Geechi Gotti in order to just necessarily be strength of schedule. I think it's just making sure you're taking on dudes who known for being consistent, known for putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? That's what people can argue it. You know what I mean? You can't just go in there battling dudes who barely battle or battling dudes who, you know what I'm saying? You got to battle dudes who dudes know for, you know, putting in that work.
It is a mixture of like not only the name but what they bring to the battle. I feel like a lot of times it's not just resume. Like, yeah, like you could say like, oh, this name is bigger than this name, but what they brought to the battle is a part of that strength of schedule. Kind of the same way like we use like the tournament format as a reference point as strength of schedule too. Like, yeah, he may not have battled like the most high profile battler, but 2 weeks prep, not to mention he battled 2 other battlers.
It makes the schedule tougher.
So, yeah,
make the 100%. Schedule tougher. Yeah, nah, man. Hell yeah, man. So, nah, man, I appreciate the questions, man, because I definitely wouldn't want to be on the panel if y'all felt I wasn't going to be, like, you know, worthy of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at it like, man, I want that shit to be able to, you know, go smooth. It's already enough critique on my man's Black and how they got going. So, you know what I mean? Y'all probably thinking, you know what I'm saying? Y'all probably
he good. He good.
Paid on the under the table.
Nah, he good.
This guy or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nah.
You feel me?
My thing is like I'm gonna get critiques, heavy critiques, and negative anyway. Like people say, "Oh, you had this person." Like, they about to crucify me regardless, man.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't watch Champion and be like, "Oh man, this is great." Like they be like, "Nah, man, he did this wrong." Every year, no matter what we do, even if we listen to the people telling us what to do, they can get mad. Like, why'd you listen to us? Like, no matter what I do, it's gonna be some type of, "Oh no, this is wrong, that is wrong." So let's do what we do then.
Don't watch it to critique it. It's just gonna happen, like.
Yeah. I just don't know how you sit in front of your computer screen for 6 hours and watch something and then find something better. Like, yo, you sat here for 6 hours watching.
But a lot of the people don't even watch for 6 hours. A lot of the people that kind of critiquing. A lot of the people that kind of critique be the people that don't even donate, don't really share. They just watch.
They'll always be the ones.
You know what I'm saying?
Or don't have a top 20. Making the top 5 is easy.
Like the dudes who kind of like understand it and respect it is the people that kind of like really be a part of it. Like they putting their effort into it. Like usually like you kind of just, it's people that complain about the battles that be free. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you watching this shit free on Caffeine, you still arguing about it. You know what I'm saying?
We can kick rocks, on God.
You know what I mean? Like, man,
I'm not even... I'm not even mad at the critiques. I made a point one of the was it 2 days ago, whatever day I did the space. I said, what if I reviewed your battle, Geechi, and only watched one round? How would you feel if I say, yeah, based on what I saw in the first round, get this person a second and third as well? Like I didn't watch the battle, so a lot of times what happens with champion the entire process. Imagine not doing a survey. Imagine not watching at least 6 out of the 8 hours, and we're breaking that stuff, and you give a critique, and it's a lot of questions that we already answered, but you didn't watch. That's what I'm saying. So, like, if you're watching it in its totality, in its entirety, and you know, give us constructive criticism, I'm all for it. But if you're not really like, it's just like, come on, man. Come on, man. It's like some of the battle rappers I see, because like shout to it's not even the media. The media gonna do what the media do regardless. But I see some of the battle rappers like, yo, what about this? What about like, bro? If you watched it, it's answers in there for you. It's just answers in there for you.
Yeah, like I said earlier, disregard. You know what I'm saying? All them people on the internet, screw all of that. Put my man Geech on the panel. Put my man Geech on the panel, bro.
About it is the battlers is the ones who be the most mad at the end of the day, man. You know that, like the battlers be the one, like especially if they feel like, because the battlers who they all got, like you say, man, we all got relationships with people and we all cool with people. So like a battler might already go in like, man, this my guy, the champ. You know what I'm saying? And don't fuck this up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
You feel me?
Yo, Black,
so they already going in with that mindset of like, if he don't win, man, then they cheating up there. So
exactly.
Respectfully,
so,
I'm gonna use my usual. That sounds like a them issue. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said earlier, man. Like I wasn't fully on the train of having Geechi. Like, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm on the train now. I can admit. I was a little bit harsh.
It get crazy in that room, yo, in that panel room.
I really came into this space on a mission, bro. And I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'll take my dub today. You feel me? Like that, Geech.
Nah, you most definitely can take the dub because I think
I don't feel no way since you're supposed to, man. This something that y'all do weekly, man. Y'all a part of this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all a part of this executive suite. You know what I'm saying? So just to, you know, y'all got y'all final says and all that, man. So I ain't coming in here trying, like I say, even like, you know, I'm not coming in this thing to try to override nothing or change nothing. You feel me? I'm trying to be a part of it if I can, you know what I mean? So that's all it is. So I ain't, you know, I definitely ain't tripping about a motherfucker like y'all going against it. Like, you know, like shoot, if you still against it, I understand it. You know, it's
so who won't be the moderator? Who we gonna make the moderator, Black?
Well, I already got somebody in mind. So you know what I mean? It is what it is. I already told him he can do it, and we'll see what happens.
Let's go.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. But I'm definitely going to check on a few more people, and we have a survey out right now. So if you donate, you get a survey. And the second question, it's only 2 questions. The first question is you pick your top 20. The second question is should Geechi got to be on the panel with stipulations. So once that's completed and answered by everybody, we'll come to a decision. And we'll update you guys on the proceedings. All right?
Yes, sir. And don't just vote for me, man, if y'all think I'm gonna shoot y'all like my nigga in the profile pic, man.
He really got that point like right at me, bro. Like I had to like minimize my shit, bro. Like
I ain't gonna lie, that just was a funny ass pic, man. They got Michael Jackson face on Tupac, man. I'm like, yo, this crazy. Real.
Can I ask one last question before we end the space? I know I keep asking questions. It's just the enthusiast in me, real quick.
Go ahead,
yo, Geechi, I gotta ask. Out of all your champion of the year wins, out of the 3, which one meant the most to you? Like I know you're gonna say like each of them. I know you're gonna say each of them means something because of 2018 is your first one. 2019 is like, you know what I'm saying, probably the most like polished in terms of like the people you battled in that year. Then 2021 is like, you know, whatever. But which one meant the most to you, particularly?
I ain't gonna lie, I would, because they all do got different sentimental value to me. Like I really love these motherfuckers. You hear me? Like, you know what I'm saying? I got these motherfuckers put in glass cases. You know what I'm saying? I wipe them down, keep them clean. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers, you know, the kids, you know what I'm saying? Niggas come over for the holidays. You know, I might let a nigga put one on the shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's fire.
But if I'm being totally like, think about all of them, you know what I'm saying? Like all of them, the first one for sure, you know what I'm saying, is probably like, it was that one just because like it went down to the wire. It kind of like even, that's why a lot of people looked at like the end of the year like, yo, man, you need to battle, or the 2 dudes who most people is arguing for need to kind of like at least try to battle each other, because me and Shine went at it You know what I'm saying? And that kind of like was what kind of swayed a lot of the fans. Was like, okay, they gave me that win, and they like, you know what, I think he got it. You know what I'm saying? Like even our promo kind of was a little bit talking shit about like, you know what I'm saying? Like Sean, like, yeah, I'm beat you. You know what I mean? Like, you feel me? Me doing the same thing. So that was one of the ones. But for me personally, it's probably the last one. You know what I'm saying? Like the last one, just because I felt like I wanted to win it because I felt like they put me too low on the year they gave it to Chilla. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like I really felt like B-Dot and Chilla and them both deserved it and they was up there. But I'm like, when I looked at I'm like, man, I was going crazy. Like I felt like that personally. So I'm just like, and then I've looked at it like the next year. I'm like, man, Chilla ain't even like when I win, I'm trying to really defend my belt. Like I'm looking at it like the next year, I'm knocking all these niggas' heads off again. I'm going for another one. So when I seen he kind of was laxing and taking his time, picking his battles, I'm like, nah, man, let me go get this, man. Niggas playing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas in this motherfucker just happy to take the belt. Niggas ain't in this motherfucker trying to get their hands dirty. Nah, man. Like, you feel me? So for the next champ, I really hope that when they win it in the next year, they don't just sit back and be like, oh, man, I'm the champ now, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm battled 2 times this year, man. Nah, man, get dirty, man. Fight and win that motherfucker again.
Belt,
you know what I'm saying? Defend that motherfucker. Go get that bitch again. You know what I'm saying? Like like make that shit exciting. Like keep that shit. So the last one was that for me because you know what I'm saying I wanted to 3P and that nigga Chilla fucked that up for me. You know.
I feel that. I was gonna
people
say
think I won 3 in a row, but I didn't. I won 2 in a row, and I lost.
Yeah,
and I won. You feel me?
And it's crazy because you didn't win it, but you said it's low, but you were still in the top 5. That's kind of funny.
Top 5, but that was low for me, man.
Number
like,
4.
Man. I was like number 4 or something, man. I wasn't feeling that. Yeah.
I got it memorized. Was it 91141? That's the record. 91141.
Oh man,
that's crazy. You said 4 was funny. That's funny.
Oh, the year that Chilla won, he was in 4th. Okay.
Yeah, I was in 4th. It was it Chilla, Dot, and Shine? I think top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sean usually always up because I think the year when I won with Sean, it was me, him, and Paste. Rest in peace.
Yep.
Everything,
so imagine somebody hitting basically the 2nd and 3rd spot for 2 years. That's why they be like, Sean should have won something because they put the years together. They add the years together. But it's like it's every year. It's not you don't get no rollover credits.
Nah,
it's like the Minnesota Vikings missing rings. Like when they do like championship teams that never won a championship. Like you got the Minnesota Vikings in '98. You got the 2007 Patriots that should have won but never did.
But that's what make niggas like Sean and them still legendary because if you look at all those years, it's a lot of dudes who make it to the top 10 one time and then they fall out the next year. You know what I'm saying? You don't see them. So like dudes who was consistently in them 10s and them 5s that let you know how hard they really was going all them years. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, cause even Surf last year, Surf was excited because he didn't never battle enough to kind of even qualify. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a fact. All right, but we've been here for a while. Any last questions before we get up on out of here, man?
Man, put Geechi on the panel, man. Put Geechi.
That's right. Britt got me, man. I'm on. We up there. We down, man. I appreciate y'all for
we work it.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all for even considering. You know what I mean? Keep me posted, man. And salute everybody in here, man. I know y'all been in here for a minute. Probably finna get gone. I'm gonna do the same, man. Get ready to pick these kids up from school and shit. It's their last week.
Hey, yo, Geechi, you gonna go crazy next year and be back in the running for the top 5?
I'm gonna get back on it, man. Since I gotta forfeit my top 5, top 10 spot, man. You know, I gotta go hard next year. They thought I thought I was retired. I'm back, man. So next year, man, I'm coming back for blood, man. You know what I'm saying? So whoever the new champ is, I need a battle with him. You know what I'm saying? That's how we gonna get it going. All right, man.
By the way, you gotta give respect to D.I. the Haiti Man Battle Rap Trap. He is a battle rapper. He was on the panel. So if we ever have any type of question, battle rap,
man. That's a
he
fact.
just does both jobs exceptionally well. So Henny Man was there. Shout out to Henny Man. Which who's been doing good this year too. We don't get into that. At some point we gotta talk about that. You know what I'm saying? But that's that. And shout out to the executives